Today we are creating this amazing brows you'll be seeing down here. And guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Stephanie Osita, and I'm so happy for you guys to be back here. And if you hear Jess's voice in the background, which is my little baby, just know she's in the same room with me. So for these brows, we are going in with this is got to be glue spray. I actually set what are they calling it? Got to be glue. I stole this little bit from my sister's glue because I don't have that, and I'm just going to use this on my brows. This is like the best way for you to get your brows to slip down without even stress. I swear to God, I saw this as a trick on TikTok, and I've been doing this and it works. Just brush it right into your brows and then brush right up, and it just stays. Like, see how that brow is so thick. And this is for me that barely even have red brows. And it sleeks. I've never gotten any product to make my brows sleek this much. Going in with a setting powder, I'm using the Adventure setting powder. This is a Nigerian brand setting powder. After letting that brows to get tacky, remember guys, let it get tacky and set. And I'm just going to press this in. I'm not going to move it because I don't want to move that brows. I'm just going to be setting this with that setting powder, just like that. I'm just pressing it in. And don't worry about the white cast from the powder. We can always go over that with a very nice fluffy brush and just fluff the excess powder right off. Going in the upward motion because you don't want to move that brow. Just like that. Now I'm using my very precise brow pencil. You could use any brow product you have. If you're using a brow brush, I'm going to tell you what to do, but I don't have a brow pomade right here. So if you're using a brow brush like this one, you want to spray your brow brush with a setting spray or something and then pinch it to make it tiny and fitted before you go in with your brow pomade in hair-like strokes or to carve out your brows. Now I'm going to tell you guys how you mark out your brows. You can use this brow pencil if you don't have a ruler, and you set right on top of your nose right here, the tip of your nose, and right here on the inner part. This is where your brows is supposed to get to. And then while looking straight at you guys, but I'm going to have to look to my mirror to see because I can't see from my camera. And then I'll set right here, and this is where my arc should be. And then for my tail of my brows, I'll take this from here to the outer part of my eyes, and I'm just going to lay this on my face, but not this part. I'm not going to mark here. I'm going to mark on the inner part, and that is where my tail should end. And yeah, I'm going to do the same for this other brow, and I'll be right back. With my brows all outlined and mapped out at the place where I want them to be mapped out, I'm going to connect the dots underneath. You see, for here, I started from out here. You don't have to. You could start from this place. But I barely have any hair there, so I tried to start in there. And I'm just going to take that tail right here. And for my top parts, you see how I'm not starting from right here because I don't want a blocked brow. I'm taking it from right here. I'm connecting to that tail, and I'm bringing it right down to meet the point right here. That's me outline brows. I say me outline brows, my outline brows, guys. And I'm going to do the same on this other part of my face, and I'll be right back. You know, this map out could actually help you when carving your brows with like a razor blade or whatever you use. And you also want to use a very light feather hand when doing this. So now with that same brush, I'm just going to lightly just, like you see how I'm holding the ending tip of the brow product, because I don't want to have so much control in what I do right here. And I'm just putting hair-like strokes. See that, making fluffy hair like strokes. You don't have to make this so serious. Just fluff it out. And don't worry about any external mistake because you could always wipe that out with your concealer when we get to the concealer part. If you like using a black pencil for your brows, you can actually use a black pencil to do this part. But I don't really like that so much. I do that sometimes, but not all the time. So yeah, just feeling that brow. And yeah, we're pretty much ready. For my concealers, I'll be using two shades of concealer. One is Elegant Concealer in the shade creamy beige, and the other, using that very flat angle brush, and the other is my Elegant Concealer in the shade Fawn. And I'm using the light shade on my outer tail of my brow because I want to have that high looking brow so that it looks so highlighted on my brow bone, because that's the kind of look I like to go for. You can go for something more settled. You can actually use your foundation in this part of the process depending on what you want and what you're comfortable with. But this brow routine would change your brow game, and it will make your brow routine so much easier and faster. And with that brows all laid down, you don't have to stress yourself about where your hairs will be moving up and down to. You get. Now I'm going in with that other concealer, and I'm just going to use that on my inner corners, and I'll blend that right in. I'll be right back. Now using that Fawn shade, and I'll be just cleaning up my brows. And yeah, now I'm just going to blend that in. And yep, carving out this part. I like my brows more defined. Like I said, you could use your foundation shade for this, and it won't be as harsh as mine is right now. So depending on your preference, but this is the way I prefer my brow to be. And I'm not saying other brow techniques do not work. I'm just saying, for me, this is something that I have found very easy for myself to use, and this technique has been one of the best techniques I've ever tried when it comes to my brows. And now I'm going in with a more smaller dense brush to blend out the edges of that brow, just to make the line not look as harsh as it's looking right now. Like that with your fingernails, if you want to make it more soft, if you want to make the coverage a bit softer, you can go over that with your finger, with the tip of your finger, sorry, not your fingernails. And those brows are looking so soft. Going in with the same brush, you take your foundation shade. I'm using my Baby Skin foundation in the shade number 5, and I'm just going to use this to outline my top brows, because why not, making that more defined. And yes, I know my brows are looking big. It's because my brow hairs are actually big. They're actually really long right now, and I have not tamed them in a while. They're looking like wild beasts. I'm going to take whatever is remaining and just fluff towards the beginning of my brows. You see how I'm really not doing that in a very defined pattern. And yeah, I have like the most defined brow right now. I always like going over the tip of my brows with my finger instead of a blending brush. I figure it just blends out the products better. And yeah, if you have any problem with like you overstepping into the part you have your shadows, you can always go back in with your sponge and fix that up. It's just basically wipe, fix, wipe, and fix, just like that. I'm going to do this part and I'll be right back. If you're a beginner when it comes to doing your brows, you really want to do these steps before your makeup, just in case you go wrong. You can always fix that up rather than messing up your whole foundation and makeup routine. You can always just wipe and start all over again. And if this tip was helpful for you, do well to comment down below and let me know what trick you like to see next. Till next time, peace out. I love you guys so much, and thanks for always coming back.